We're fully into the swing of the season and we're starting to see who's actually good. So I think it's time for a very honest NHL power rankings for November. Now, the crazy thing about this season is that all 32 teams are just one hot week away from making this list. I guess Gary is getting his wish for league parity, and honestly, I don't mind it. But before we see who's cooking, we gotta see who's in Bettman's basement for the power rankings, and it's the Calgary Flames. This shouldn't be a surprise. Bottom of the league, dead last in terms of goals for. Watching these guys trying to score goals is a punishment I wouldn't wish on my own worst enemy. We talked about them in the winners and losers video, but right now it's a very stagnant offense that has almost no fluidity in the O-zone. I guess that's what we can expect when the coach is using ChatGPT for offense advice. It's okay, coach, I get it. I'd do the same thing too if Jonathan Huberdeau was my highest paid forward. Although you might want to ask ChatGPT on advice on how to get your Tendy to score some goals. He's out here calling out the boys for the lack of scoring, and Wolf was the biggest reason why the Flames were even close to sniffing a playoff spot last year. But this year, he is Calgary's version of Louis Varland. They are milking every last drop out of Wolf right now. He's got a heavy workload, and it's been no bueno so far. They're bottom 5 right now in terms of goals saved above expected. It's not pretty in Calgary, and it was supposed to be a retool, but she ain't working, so they're sitting firmly in Bettman's basement. Now, for our team on the Wagon watch, which isn't in our top 10, but will likely be very soon, is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know you sick puppies who cheer for other teams in the Atlantic were finally hoping for the downfall of Tampa, but it ain't happening. Any team led by John Cooper, Nikita Kucherov, Andrei Vasilevsky, and Victor Hedman, we're always going to figure it out after a slow start. They're currently riding a 5-game heater. They were the #1 offense in the league last season, and they are still trying to find their stride, but they're doing so lately. When they're feeling it, they're one of the best rush teams in the league, and I think later on we're going to see them in the top 10. It took all my might not to put the Rangers in this slot. Same with the Panthers, who we all know are going to figure it out sooner enough. They're just shaking off the summer beers and also trying to get healthy. But let's jump into the top 10, and number 10 is the Anaheim Ducks. Oh yeah, the Ducks are flying together, and it's been a joy to watch. They meet all the cliches for a young and exciting team. First and foremost, they are fast and skilled. The numbers back that up too. They're among the top 5 teams in the league in terms of skating speed, and Joel Quenneville gives his guys the green light in all 3 zones to step up and use that speed to get going north quickly. But I want to highlight Uncle Leo. Yes, Leo Carlsson. He's only 20, so don't let the nickname fool you, but he's going to be the superstar #1 center in Anaheim for years to come, and he's leading the team in scoring this season with 16 points in 11 games. The 6'3", 208-pounder is a perfect blend of finesse, power, and intelligence. Watch him here on this 3-on-2. He sees the left winger going for the net drive, so his job is to fill that gap and create an option for the cross-seam pass. He's going to change his route slightly to get in between his man and the Detroit backchecker. Then look at this. He gets wide, uses his frame to avoid a stick lift while keeping his stick in front of his body. This puts him in a great spot for his first touch, where he can put the puck in a spot to release it, and it's a goal. If you watch the Ducks, keep an eye on Uncle Leo Carlsson this season. He's been dynamite early, along with their Tendy, Lucas Dostal, who has been unreal to start the year. The future is bright in Anaheim. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing that flying V come out. Coming in at number 9, it's the Carolina Hurricanes. Do we expect these fellas to be in the top 10 all year? Probably. They aren't as high in the standings as they'd like to be early on, but the MO has been the same for years now with Carolina. Can they win the big one against Florida when it's eventually time during the playoffs? Who knows? But 5-on-5, we know what to expect from the Hurricanes. Their forecheck is among the best in the game, which is why they usually lead in forechecking chances and slot shots. Same question marks, though, remain in goaltending. It's a big one, and that power play. The Canes have lacked a true superstar for years, and when they've got one, their system didn't align with his skill set. It is still a problem, which is why their power play is dead last in the league. They're still a cup contender, though, so they're in the top 10 for now. Coming in at number 8, we got the Vegas injured reserves. Oh, I know the NHL got rid of the LTIR loophole for the playoffs, yet it still looks like Vegas is trying to get as many guys as they can on the IR anyways. Both captain Mark Stone and goaltender Aiden Hill are hurt, and despite that, Vegas still looks pretty good. We did a video on them on the channel a few weeks back. They have one of the deepest forward groups in the NHL, and adding Marner to their game has only amplified what they do best. Jack Eichel has gone to another level this season, which is why he's among the league leaders in NHL for points. Defensively, I thought they would struggle perhaps without Pietrangelo, but they are a top 5 team in terms of high danger, medium danger, and low danger shots on goal, which means that they're doing a pretty damn good job at limiting chances. Now, all the homies hate Vegas for a lot of reasons, and they're good, which only makes it easier to hate them, but they sit in the number 8 spot for now. Coming in at number 7, it's the Detroit Red Wings. I know Wings fans have been waiting for this one a long time. There's a lot of things going really well right now for Detroit. Dylan Larkin is playing fantastic. 18 points in 13 games. That's good stuff. The same goes for DeBrincat, and everybody loves Raymond, who are driving the bus offensively as well, but everyone has been quick to point out that they may be fugazis this year because of their advanced numbers. Maybe there's something to that, but for years, the Wings haven't gotten into the dance because they haven't found a way to win games that they should. Even if their process isn't where it's supposed to be right now, their skill and will is getting them wins early on here to bank important points. Good teams flat out find a way to win. Right now, they're doing just that and are in a damn good spot for November. We'll see how long this lasts, but it's a great start. Coming in at number 6, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins. These guys on paper got no business being here, but Sid and Gino could give two shits about your paper. People want to point at the Red Wings' advanced numbers and say it may not last, and they're probably saying the same for Pittsburgh. Defensively, there's issues here. The Penguins rank in the bottom 5 of the league for high danger, medium danger, and low danger shots against. With that being said, this Penguins offense is clicking right now, especially their power play. It's second in the NHL with Malkin and Sid leading the way. And I gotta shout out the tendies too. Jari and Shilovs have been off to a fantastic start, and that's why Pittsburgh has found their way onto the power rankings. We'll see if this team stays here, but a determined Sid is a top 5 player in the world still. Now coming in at number 5, it's the Utah Mammoth, who had Nick Schmaltz being an absolute offensive juggernaut to start the season. I certainly didn't, but here he is, well over a point per game and among the league leaders. We've talked about their speed and rush game in our winners and losers video. It's part of why they had a hot start. However, if I'm being honest, my biggest concern is whether it'll translate later on in the year and potentially in the playoffs. Before playing the Mammoth, Draisaitl made a comment that echoed something similar, and even if he was just being pissy, it's still true. Utah has a lot of talent, but when the game calls for it, can the talent buy into a style that forgoes their natural offensive instincts in order to manage the game? This is common with a lot of young and skilled teams, but it's a part of evolving into a successful style that works down the stretch and come playoff time. They've had some success right now with other teams being loosey-goosey in the first month, but consistency will be the key. The Mammoth have got some serious players and talent on their team, and if they can find a way to manage these 2-1 types of tight games, then they're going to be a problem in the West. Coming in at number 4 is the New Jersey Devils. They're similar to Utah in a way, but they've made it to the dance before, so it's not as drastic. The skill is there, and offensively between Hughes and Bratt, there's not a lot of worries. But Sheldon Keefe has not been shy early on to call out his team for their effort on the defensive side of the puck. The Devils got out to a similar hot start last year and then faltered down the stretch, mostly due to injuries. But Keefe knows that if this team wants to go to another level here, those details need to be way sharper on the defensive side. I doubt they're going to remain in the top 5 all throughout the season, but I do see them sticking around as a top 10 team if everyone stays healthy and they bubble wrap Jack Hughes' shoulder. Coming in at number 3 is the Bleu Blanc et Rouge, the Montreal Canadiens. If this list was based solely on vibes, Montreal would be number 1. These kids are electric. Pick a storyline with these guys. It's all roses. Lane Hudson in his sophomore year continues to be sick. Ivan Demidov, the Russian rookie, looks like he's going to be a force for years to come. In between the pipes, you got Jakub Dobish. He's undefeated on the season so far. But for me, the guys driving the bus are still Cole Caulfield and Captain Nick Suzuki. We call Caulfield Buonanotte in Italian. Why? Because it means good night. Anytime a game is in OT, he's a lock to end the night early. He's already won a few games for the Habs in OT this season, and he's the fastest player in history to score 10 OT goals in his career. Suzuki is the two-way conscience of the team and the captain leading the charge. People have their doubts as they are the youngest team in the NHL, so it's natural to expect a lot of ups and downs this season, but right now they are on quite a high to start the year. Coming in the number 2 spot, it's the Colorado Avalanche. If these guys had Caulfield, they'd be the best team in the world. As I make this video, the Avs do sit on top of the league with a record of 7-1-5. They can't buy an OT win, and the league is lucky for it. Their record alone does not tell the full story. They have not lost a single game this season by more than a goal. They may have the deadliest duo on the planet right now with Necas and McKinnon, and that doesn't even include Cale Makar, who leads all defensemen and almost forwards as well with 18 points. People were inquiring why the hell their power play was so bad early on in this season. It's now 23rd and coming together as of late because of McKinnon's movement. Instead of always anchoring him on the left flank for that 1T bomb, which isn't a bad idea, they are deploying him similar to McDavid on the power play, where he's constantly moving around to make plays from any spot on the ice. Whether that's down low on either side or up high in the zone, his mere presence in different spots on the ice open up unique looks for everyone else. They've also switched out Lehkonen for Victor Olofsson on that right flank as well, so that left-handed bomb can add way more firepower in case they do decide to use it. And all around, the Avs are just fast and ferocious, and they may have the very two best players on the planet right now. With that being said, they're still not the #1 team in the league right now, as that is gonna go to the Winnipeg Jets. Last year's President Trophy winners are picking up right where they left off. The league's MVP last year in Connor Hellebuyck is second in the league in goals saved above expected. A lot of the same fundamentals of what made them so good last year defensively still apply. There's just not a lot of space to operate against Winnipeg. They close gaps extremely well. They keep it on one side of the ice, and they shut down plays up ice before you can ever really get going. Because they work so well away from the puck, their offense thrives. Right now, their offense is currently ranked first in the NHL, and as of right now, Mark Scheifele is first in the league in points. Criminally underrated player. He's not going to dazzle you with his physical abilities, but he's incredibly smart, and this goal right here shows everything about the Jets and Scheifele's game that work so well together. Chicago is going to get by the second layer of Winnipeg, but then Winnipeg's D does a fantastic job of stepping up at the line to kill the play right there. That creates a turnover for Scheifele, and he's got a guy draped all over him at the red line. So instead of trying to powering through or use his speed, he's just going to bump it back to his teammate and create a gap advantage with one pass. From there, it's a 3-on-2 rush play, and he makes a nice cross-seam pass. But Scheifele's work isn't done there because he doesn't have the puck. He's going to use his off-puck route to run a slight little pick to open up that extra space for Kyle Connor to work his magic. He goes upstairs. That's Jets hockey right now, and it's a perfect example of why they are #1 in the power rankings so far in November. So, who do you have in your rankings? Do you agree, disagree? Let us know in the comments down below. Like I said, there's not a single team technically under 500 right now in the East, and really the entire league is one hot week away or one bad week away from jumping up or down the power rankings list. Let me know who's in your top 10, and as always, we got weekly recaps every Sunday, as well as power rankings and team breakdowns throughout the week. So if you want to stay up to date and learn about all things NHL, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a thing.